Skip, we appreciate you coming out today.
Well, thank you. Glad
Tell
to
me
be
a
here.
little bit about your background.
I've got a lifetime in developing applications that streamline communication between people. I did some work in the early 90s developing virtual business terminals for banks and virtual concierges for hotels. Always been at the forefront of video conferencing and webcasting technologies.
I think probably most people understand telemedicine, and they understand how the video and the conferencing ability with telemedicine, how hospitals are starting to move to telemedicine. We're starting to actually reimburse physicians for consults via telemedicine. But who else in the hospital might be of interest up to this solution?
Ever since Bell invented the phone, people have wanted to see who they're talking to.
Right.
Adding visual communication in a healthcare setting has got unlimited applications. From the pure clinical of having a doctor appear at the point of need to the non-clinical, which could be everything from a bedside visit by friends and family, patient education, employee education, training, help desk support, even have the ability to pop up on a kiosk for giving information out when somebody comes to a hospital. There are applications galore, and what we believe is that once the management of healthcare operations see what can be delivered through collaborative communication, visual communication, the applications will come from everywhere.
Okay. All right. So how does this product and this solution help position hospitals for the future of healthcare as we start to do the continuum of care, bringing the patients in, bringing in the nursing home, bringing in rehab? How does this help? And how is it, if you can tell us, because I think some people still might be not quite sure, how is it different than just your typical telemedicine point to point?
Well, in healthcare, there's a big gap between supply and demand. There's a shortage of expertise up and down the system. And this demand from urban to rural, we like to say from daycare to elder care and everywhere in between, we want to be able to deliver telemedicine.
Right.
And the legacy systems, the traditional approach, has been based on hardware solutions that are very expensive and will never be ubiquitous, do not integrate with IT.
Like Tandberg.
So it's very key. So what I see happening is that we are able to improve the quality of care dramatically through the visual contact with the patient and the referring physician in a continuum of care situation. We can take a lot of the travel back and forth to the doctor's office out of the equation.
Right.
There's all kinds of incentives out there to do telemedicine because of just the frustration that we all go through when we have to make an appointment to go see a doctor, sit in a waiting room. If you could just have a virtual visit from your home, many times that's all it would take to renew a prescription or to maybe check your blood sugar and have a little conversation. Lots of healthcare applications. And telemedicine, as you mentioned, has been out for a long, long time. But the big problem has been it is forcing physicians to have to work around the way the telemedicine hardware works. And we take a different approach. We're able to customize interfaces so that they really complement the way caregivers work. And the big thing is we're about 10% of the cost. So what we're envisioning is a healthy lifestyle type of an application that can be on everybody's computer. If I were working in a large account, I would be talking about how this eliminates a lot of necessary logistics. For instance, in language interpreting services, for instance, finding an interpreter to get to the bedside
Right.
at a major institution is very, very difficult. With this, they can be there at the touch of a finger.
Okay. That's
So
important.
what we feel like we're an application that can bring together a lot of disparate parts of a healthcare institution and enable them to all collaborate from the desktop.